And when I was younger, we had to build our own legal walls, and then the city tear them down, and we do new ones, and we paint on our skateboard ramps, and it's a bit difficult because we wanted to paint. We wanted to take some time to do good paintings, and difficult when the city don't want to have legal walls.
Thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast. I am Mustafa Sharif, an urban planner, and you're more than welcome to join my big journey of exploring the making of smarter and more livable cities. Don't forget to follow Instagram account to see the stories behind the scenes, and also subscribe the YouTube channel to see the live talks. Let's get in touch on LinkedIn, share your reflections with us, with Urbanistica community. Recommend the podcast to people you think are interested in Urbanistica topics. Are you ready for a new episode? Let's go for it.
I have the pleasure to welcome my guest from Helsingborg City, Tim Timmy. Hey, and welcome to Urbanistica podcast.
Hi, thanks.
How are you doing, Tim?
I'm fine. I'm a bit tired. Worked a lot lately, but I feel good.
I'm following you on Instagram and I see work cannot be done just by a single person. You're doing so amazing job.
Thanks a lot. Now I actually have some help from a friend of mine, Marian, and he normally he is a student, so now he has some time off and he can come down to Helsingborg and help me.
Yes. So how was yours? Did you have any summer vacation?
Some days, like Friday, and this Friday I was in a zoo with the family, and I tried to take some days off.
Yeah, to balance.
Exactly.
So Tim, you're our storyteller. How would you like to introduce yourself, and please tell us what are you passionate about?
My name is Tim. My artist name is Tim Timmy, and I'm an artist. I not only use spray cans, I not only do murals, I also do sculptures. I work in many different materials, metal, wood, spray paint. I paint canvases, I paint more or less everything, motorcycle helmets or whatever.
Everything gets your hand.
Yeah. I'm passionate about many things. I think I'm positivity, energy, workout, art, animals, many things.
Yes. And this interest to art and painting, did you get it like when you were a kid? Did you study for this, or how did this grow up?
It just, I've always been painting, or if I was with family on the beach, I built sculptures in sand and skateboard ramps and tree houses, and everything just become what I am today. Then I always try to learn new things. That's also what I'm passionate about. The travel from start to become something. I've learned to tattoo. I've learned paint canvases with brushes, airbrushes, many things. So I think, from start to the end, what you say, how to learn.
Yeah, the journey of learning.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
Yes. And how long have you been doing this, let's say, as an official artist?
A full-time artist. I've been doing since beginning of 2018.
Okay.
So, 2.5 years.
So you decided this is going to be my full-time job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So before that, I was a printer. I was back in school. I was learning to do printing, and I've never been to art school. But nowadays, I regret because
to not attend.
Yeah. I should. I should go to art school, or when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, you have the possibility to go attend art school now, or you're not really have time to this or prioritizing this.
Now I think I'm already schooled.
Mic drop.
Yeah, no, you can always learn more things. But if I went to school now, I think I would do something else. Now I do my things. So if I go to art school now, I will change myself, and I don't want to do
I understand
that,
you. So you have your own style now, and you don't want to really.
No, I don't want to change it.
Yeah, yeah, I understand you. So how do you define street art and a street artist?
Street art now is very big. They want street art all over. When I was younger, they didn't want anything to do with the graffiti street art. So
We're talking about Helsingborg city or in general in Sweden.
no, now we can talk about Helsingborg city.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was younger, we had to build our own legal walls, and then the city tear them down, and we do new ones, and we paint on our skateboard ramps, and it's a bit difficult because we wanted to paint. We wanted to take some time to do good paintings, and difficult when the city don't want to have legal walls. And now it reversed. They got legal walls all over the city.
Yeah.
We got 500 meters of legal walls all over. Yeah. So,
Wow.
So now maybe it's too much because we don't have that many artists, so they don't get painted that much. So, and now they also do big murals around the city. We have a street art festival every year.
So starting from like a zero and illegal to an art festival, street art festival.
Yes, it's changed a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. How was back in the days when you wanted to paint something, you put energy and then the city teared down? How was this feelings? Was it like a kind between you and the municipality?
The strange thing is everything I've done, from skateboard, inline skating, graffiti, everything always been worked against. So we have to build our own skate parks. We have to build our own legal walls. So I don't know. I think I'm used to it.
Were you being like super sad when the municipality come in and said, okay, we should take down this paint? Or
I think I used that energy to do something new, to use the energy to do maybe something bigger, something in a different area. So not sad. I think I used it so I could go
in a positive way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now street art is something really big, and it's not only about murals. What do you think?
You can also say maybe it's street art, like the name street art. You can also say maybe one of the sculptures I've built is also street art because it's placed in the streets. And sometimes I also paint on the ground in schoolyards, and so the kids can jump around and activate themselves. So
yeah,
that's also street art.
So everything that people create in the streets, considering street art, like sculpturing, painting.
Overall, most is painting, but you can also find some small houses in small holes and arrows or words, and so the street art is
with the signs as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So where are the perfect spot? I'm working with urban planning, so I'm super interested to hear where is the perfect spot for you to paint or to create something in the city.
You always try to find something that people can see, exposed wall. So for my wife, when we got married, I did a wall in the harbor. So when you come into Helsingborg with the ferry, there was a big sign. There was a "I love clean."
Whoa!
So, my wife is called Clean.
So whole Denmark's.
Yeah, exactly. So it was 18 meters wide and 2.5 meters high. So it was also a bit higher up in the building on a balcony.
So instead of "Welcome to Helsingborg."
Exactly. So you got "I love clean." So very cool.
Yeah.
So that's the type of wall you want to look for. Maybe beside a big road, or so people passing by, maybe by train.
So some walls that get people's attention, some like strategical.
Yeah.
And not really something like behind, hidden in the city.
It can also be cool to find a hidden wall, because if people want to find it, they have to go out in the woods or in tunnels out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I was walking here in Helsingborg, and like suddenly when I walk, suddenly I see, okay, wow, this is a really great painting, and it's really hidden. So that's why I'm wondering. So where's your coolest spot?
It's the most exposed wall is the coolest.
Yeah,
if you say like
and
that.
do you think it's always? Because maybe the coolest wall is already taken because it has a strategical place. If you
But you always the city always change, so there are coming new walls all the time, new buildings, new fences, new that changed all the time. So one wall is very popular one year, and the next year is another one. So
okay, so the market is changing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and you always have something to paint on.
and I always have something to paint on. But if I'm out traveling, for example, taking the train in a different city, you always try to find good walls when you're passing by. Like, even if I was taking a break from graffiti for many years, I always thought of that when I was going to traveling with family, and when you pass good tunnels, good walls, you have always kept that in mind.
You'd be like, oh my God, I want to paint here.
Exactly. Yeah. So
this is like an not illness. Maybe illness is something negative, like something you have in your blood.
Yeah.
Like.
So yeah.
So where is your dream wall or spot that you would love to?
A dream of mine for many years been to paint in New York. I don't know why, but for me, it's the birth of graffiti. They painted on the trains back in the days, and then it comes to Sweden, and you can always see the trains from New York, the big pictures. And so I think a dream wall just from Norway, I think it's to paint in New York.
Do you think it's possible to do it?
Yes, for sure. But now I don't want to travel so much. I have family, and so I try to stay in Sweden.
Do you paint only in Helsingborg, or you have, or you're doing a project in other? Now we call it a project in other cities.
Yes, I paint the whole Sweden is my working area, if you say like that. So next week, tomorrow we're going to Skara, a city in the middle of Sweden. We're going to paint on schoolyards, so we're going to stay there for the rest of the week and try to finish 9 schoolyards in a couple of days.
Whoa, that sounds really crazy.
Yeah, that's perfect way. I got the help from Marianne, and perfect.
Yeah. Tell me about how is the process from getting, now you get a commission, right? Like the municipality calls you for a project.
Yeah, sometimes.
Or how is it? I'm interested in the journey from like the different steps until you have the final paint.
Yeah, if we talk about a mural, for example, I get the customer call me and ask, can you paint a wall for us? And then we try to find a good wall. Sometimes they already got a wall. Sometimes we have to find a wall. And then you have to find the motive. The painting is going to be something with this or that.
Like a topic.
Yeah. The best thing is to have the freedom of creating. But always they have something. Oh, we like this canvas you've done. We like this canvas you've done. Oh, yeah. And then you do a sketch, and then you get a building permission. Sweden is a bit complicated with this, but you have to have the building permission.
What is it?
You contact the commune and you ask, can we paint this? And it costs sometimes a lot of money. It's a bit complicated. We don't want these bright colors, or this wall you can't paint because the bricks is from Helsingborg bricks. You can't use, sometimes you can go around it with putting boards on the wall. But when this process is done, you start to do the artwork, and then you do the sketch. You can do with many things. You can use a projector. You can use the grid net. You do one grid net on the wall, and you do the same thing on your sketch, but smaller. You can do a lot of signs on the wall. You take a photo. You use an app, and you can use your sketch over it. You can transparent. Can you say? Yeah. And then you can see all the signs. You can use them to guideline your sketch.
Wow.
And then after that, I often do the background first. So I work in layers. So everything is behind the other thing I do first. And sometimes at last you do protection from, if they're gonna throw something on your painting, maybe a water balloon with colors and destroy it. And then you can easily remove it with only hot wax on the wall. So
okay, so these are the steps. Yeah. And when it comes to the colors and different tools, you also get it from the client, or you buy it by yourself?
I often buy it myself. I got my own tools. I want to use my own tools because I know it's fresh and it works. And so you got to sometimes you do big murals. You have to use a big spray gun. Or maybe rollers, or but mostly I used spray paint.
How big is your toolbox?
Yeah, it's very big. But I also use with many. I work with many mediums. So sometimes I build, sometimes I paint. So I got a lot of tools.
Yes. And what is your favorite project? Like the one you're in love with?
I must say I did a big octopus for Gothenburg City. There's a project called Vestlänken. Like when they built the metro in Copenhagen, they had green fences around the working areas. They got the same thing in Gothenburg, so artists can ask them to paint and get paid by paint them. And when I was asking them to paint something, I also told them I can build sculptures. And that was a big process. Half a year, we tried to come up with new ideas. My first idea was to build something on the wall, but then you can climb on the sculpture and jump over the fence. So a bit difficult. We have to come up with a new idea, and next idea was to build something in front of the fence, and then they can climb on the sculpture and jump over the fence. So I went up to Gothenburg for a meeting, and they asked, can we please come up with a new idea? Come on. And they asked me, what are you doing in Gothenburg now? I told them I'm going to paint octopus on a bakery. They're like, oh, can we build an octopus? Yeah, so we got this ugly place in front of the water, because there they can't put a fence. So on a container, we did a big octopus.
It's really cool. You can, for all the listeners that are listening to the podcast now, you can see this on Team Instagram.
And this one, the sculpture, we transported from Helsingborg to Gothenburg on a truck. So
I guess it was a bit weird for people watching. Okay, what is this on the train, you know?
I can imagine.
But you have also like very favorite elements that in many of your painting, like the flamingo, the yellow duck. And what are these? Are they very like special for you? Is there any stories behind them?
I got my small yellow bird. I don't have a name for it yet, but this I try to include in my paintings all over. Sometimes I only do birds all over the painting, or sometimes I just put it a little bit behind, and sometimes I do it in clay.
Is it like your signature?
Yeah, you can say, yeah. And the flamingo, we go to my inspiration from animals. I like to paint animals instead of humans, because humans you can see directly if you have one eye higher than the other or bigger than the other, and the nose is placed wrong, ears is wrong. You see many faces every day. So even if you're not an artist, you see directly that's wrong, because you see so many faces.
You see the error.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I paint animals mostly. Try to combine it with the graphic pattern, but not realism, but surrealism. I paint very often. I often build towers of animals.
Yeah.
So
this is your like style.
Style, yeah, you can say, yeah.
And how is it now, like with municipalities in Sweden? Are they very open to see graffiti on the walls, or no, everything's still under control?
Now they are more open now. They try to let it in Like I've got the opportunity to build sculptures inspired from my art in the city, and so I'm very happy for I got the opportunity to do these big things.
Why do you think they became so open suddenly? Maybe not suddenly, it's the transformation during the years. But why they started to believe that, okay, painting deliver a value or deliver a message?
I don't know really, but I think it's in time. Sometimes the art change all the time. Now graffiti and street art it's a bit upgoing, and in a couple of years maybe it's going down. I don't know, but now it seems to go up all the time. More cities want big walls. More cities want art in the public area. So
yeah, do you enjoy? Because recently we see a lot of community engagement in creating murals or other type of street art. Do you think it's important to include the people?
Yes, it's important. Sometimes it's also a bit difficult if there's many people saying this and this and this. But
have you been involved in a project with people?
Yes, many times. So lately, last week we were in Gothenburg. We painted a tunnel together with 8 kids. So from being a gray, dark tunnel, now it's very colorful. All the colors all over. We used a circle as a pattern, and then the kids can fill in all the blocks.
The blocks, yeah, exactly. How did you do the idea? Did you talk with the kids first? Okay, let's do circles, or you came with it and then they just painted?
I came with the idea and I described it for them, and they were very happy. Yes, let's do it. and they actually do it by using spray cans. So they also could learn something new and
some skills, painting skills.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. And what is the message you're trying always to deliver by your painting? Do you have a specific one?
I think without knowing, I think it's happiness with the bright colors and the funny animals, and I think it's positivity and happiness, I think.
And this is what are you passionate about, as how you told in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now we are in Helsingborg, recording from Helsingborg, and Helsingborg have this smart city project, the making of smarter city. So if I ask you as a street artist, what is a smart city for you?
A smart city for me, I think, we think recycling. We need to find other ways of produce electricity. Use the nature, like with the sun, for an example. They put up solar panels on the roof. Sometimes you don't even see the solar panels, but the sun is giving us energy. I think more like this.
So more you being smarter and more climate friendly?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think about the idea that placing a screen and showing different painting instead of having an actual paint?
I go for the actual painting. For me, of course, change the motive could be fun, but for me, I don't like the thing comes with the computer. I want it to be done with your hands.
The old school way.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, I use the computer. It gives me a lot of opportunity to just send me the picture of the wall, and I can do a quick sketch. But then, in the end, I want to have done it with my hands.
Yes, yes. So, what are the challenges that you're facing now? Before you had like big challenges that everything was illegal.
Yeah. But now the challenge is. I have a family now. I can't travel around the world that much, and now, like the corona, that was also a challenge. I've been in the studio 3 months, and I was going to have 2 big exhibitions, and everything went 0 visitors and none painting sold. So there's always things come to change.
But in general, you don't face any other challenges like, okay, you cannot paint here. If you understand me, like from application.
Yeah, but that can always change. Like the building permission, maybe they say, we don't want any murals. We don't give building permission. Now it's not like that, but maybe in a couple of years it will be very difficult. What do we do now? I like to find other ways. So maybe we come up with some new ideas, but we will see what happened. I don't want to see it like you say. What is going to be your problem? I want to solve the problem.
Yeah, problem solver.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
When I go around in the city, and not only in Helsingborg, in many other cities in Europe or out of Europe, sometimes I see very beautiful graffiti, and sometimes I see like very, what do you call it?
Like tags? No, tags.
Yeah, tags or like a kind of ugly things. What is your reflection about?
For me, it's a part of what I'm doing. I sometimes use tags in my characters, like the flamingo. We put tags in the flamingo, so we still uses the graffiti things in our paintings. But today I can't say I paint graffiti longer. So now I do. I don't want to put a name on it. I just paint whatever I want, what everybody else calls it. It's not my problem. No, but I understand what you mean with some graffiti you don't like, some graffiti you like. And that's also something many people is angry about, because we on the street art festivals, we can't do text. We can't do the graffiti was like they did back in the days. Now they only do funny characters, and everything changed, but they're trying to mix it.
Yeah. Do you miss the old days when you were not allowed to paint and you were like the excitement of
I can't say I miss it, but that was a travel. You have to find other ways. You have to go out in the night, and everything is,
You mentioned also that now we have so many walls, but not so many street artists to paint. Is it because like, what's the issue, or what's the reason?
But an issue here in Helsingborg actually is we got non-graffiti, zero tolerance. We got this, and now all the artists from back in the days, they chose other cities, Copenhagen, Malmö, Gothenburg. So now we are not so many left in Helsingborg.
So they moved away.
Yeah, because there was easier to do creative things in other city. Not only because of this, but I think that have something to do with the zero tolerance, for sure.
Is it still going?
No, it's
gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that there are new young talents growing up here in Helsingborg?
Yes, but it takes longer time here in Helsingborg because they miss a whole.
Maybe not the revolution or the moment. Maybe
no, exactly. So they moved away. So they didn't have the one to take inspiration from
the
because
masters.
They left. So no, exactly. So that's a. But now it's you got the Instagram, you got everything, so you can find the inspiration from that. But some effect it got for sure.
Yeah. So Tim, if I ask you, if you go back in time and you are allowed to change one thing in the city, what will you change?
I've thought about it. It's hard to find something, but I want to change. I don't know really. Maybe I want to change the legal walls. Maybe I want to get it earlier. For me, I want to paint legal. I like how the graffiti, the spray can works. I want to paint legal. But for me, I think try to get rid of the non-tolerance faster.
Interesting. Thank you so much again for giving your time to record this podcast. And I'm very happy to talk to a great street artist like you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So what is your next step, your next project?
My next project now is to go to Skara, and after that is go to Bank Festival in Västervik here in Sweden. And after that, it's No Limit Artscape in Borås. So there's many festivals upcoming.
And they are not really shut it down because of Corona, right?
No,
They're going on.
Yeah, because we are not having public. We do paint the walls, but if you stand up in the air or in the lift, nobody can reach you or no. But there's not that many people standing down watching you. So,
are you thinking in the future opening a graffiti street art course school here in Helsingborg, teaching people?
Me, I try to do less of these because it takes a lot of energy to learn the kids. I will do some, of course, but I try to do less workshops because they eat a lot of energy and
like preparing and so on.
Yeah, preparing and try to learn all the time when you want to put your energy to do art. It's but some workshops I want to do because I think it's important to help the younger. But yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much again. And how would you like to summarize our conversation and your reflection and 3 takeaway messages for the listeners?
It's a bit difficult to talk in English, but I think it was okay. And yeah, I'm happy for being here, and I hope I can inspire others to do artwork.
And what is your message for the urban planners like me? Should we provide you with more boring walls so you can paint on?
You should. No, but hopefully it can get rings on the water, or what you say. Maybe I can go to other podcasts and other radio, or I want to show people my art, and I like to show it.
Yes, of course, because it's really beautiful and I like it.
Thanks.
Hopefully see you in the next coming episode. So far, take care and good luck with all your projects.
Thanks a lot.
So thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast season number 2. I hope you enjoyed the episode, learned something new and got inspired by the guest. And also please don't forget to share the episode with your friends, colleagues and people you think they are interested in Urbanistica topic. Follow on Instagram account, you will see the stories behind the scenes before and after every episode we record in the podcast. And also don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel to see the live talks and also to see the vlogs, which we call it Urbanistica Walk, where I going around the city and explore the elements that make our city smarter and more livable. If you have any feedback or you want to suggest a new topic or nominate a new guest, you can just reach out and write me. You can find me everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also my email. So feel free to write me and share your thoughts with me. Thank you so much again for listening. I am Mustafa Sharif. Keep up the good work. Keep loving cities.